What up, everybody? Matty on a mission. I'm out here doing my thing. I hope you're doing your thing as well. RWA all day, man. Raider Nation all motherfucking day. But it's not a... I'm not making a football video right now, man. I'm making a music video. Because music lost another legend today. A lot of musicians, older musicians, have been dying lately. Merle Haggard. I'm not really a country music fan, but he was a legend in his genre of music. He just died. Obviously, the lead singer of Earth, Wind & Fire died not too long ago. Glenn Frey from the Eagles died. David Bowie died. You know what I'm saying? So, and now Prince, mysteriously found dead at his house in Minnesota earlier today. Just a weird circumstance. When I first heard the news, it was like first it was like an internet hoax, and then it was like they found somebody dead at Prince's house, and then it was like, okay, it could be Prince, and then it was confirmed that Prince actually died. And it's a sad situation, man. It sucks. They don't make musicians like Prince anymore. There never will be another Prince. There will never be another Michael Jackson. And that brings me to what this video is about. It's a response to Mackmayne70's challenge. And Mackmayne70, man, you got my respect musically, man, and for your videos and what you do and how you speak and how you present yourself on here, man. You got my respect 100%. You were one of the first people who subbed me up, man, and I truly appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? And you issued a challenge that was, you know, right up my alley and right up, my way of thinking when I heard the news. You know, my mind automatically went to Prince versus Mike, because this is not a new debate. This has been going on for decades now. Who's better, Prince or Mike? And honestly, man, they're both equally great for different reasons. You know, it's like comparing a 68 Camaro to a 65 GTO. It's like comparing a hot fudge sundae to a banana split. You can't go wrong. Either way you go, you're doing good. You know, you're going to be happy with the result. But I will say this, you know what I'm saying? Prince was better at musicianship. He could play his own records. You know what I'm saying? When Prince was in the studio, whatever he wanted out of the guitar, he could play himself. He could just go down and lay down the guitar track. If he wanted to lay down a piano track, he could go and lay down a piano track himself. If he wanted to lay down a drum track, he could go and lay down a drum track himself. He can make all his own music. Michael was one of those guys that if he had a musician or a guitarist or a pianist or, a drummer in his studio, he could go up to the musician and say, I want this kind of melody. And he would sing the melody to the musician, and the musician would play it. You know what I'm saying? So that's a main difference between the two. And, what I will say is, Prince was more of a rock star. He was more of somebody that could play all his own shit. His stage presence was more about, playing with the band. Michael was a sing and dance kind of guy. He was a sing and dance man. He was a polished pop star. From a young age, he was groomed to be a guy who was going to dance his ass off and sing at the same time and keep your attention with his ability to sing and dance the entire concert through. Prince was more of a guy who was going to blow your mind with the ability to play the guitar. I mean, I watched a YouTube video not too long ago. It had to be less than a year ago, where Prince was at a concert years back that was like a tribute concert to one of the Beatles. I think it was like a George Harrison tribute concert or something. And they fucked around and they gave Prince a guitar solo at the end of this performance. And they should have never have done that, because as soon as they gave him that solo, he completely stole the show. He went places musically that nobody else on that stage, and there were some great musicians on stage with him. Nobody else on that stage could keep up with him with the way he was bending those notes on the guitar. And he went up and down the neck, and he was just killing it and tore it up. And it blew my mind because, it was a complete rock star moment. He dropped the guitar at the end of the performance and walked off the stage with that Prince type of swagger that he had, and there will never be another guy like that. You know what I'm saying? All these guys that you see now, your Bruno Marses, your Chris Browns, even though he thinks he's a gangster nowadays, and your Justin Biebers and your Neos and your Ushers and all these musicians from today, your Justin Timberlakes, they're trying to capture a little bit of that magic, but they're never going to compare to Prince and Mike. You know what I'm saying? Michael and Prince are in a lane of their own, and they're equally great for what they do. You know what I'm saying? They even came out with movies back in the day. Obviously, Prince came out with Purple Rain, which is a classic movie for the music that was in it, the storyline. Prince basically plays himself in that movie. Apollonia was fine as fuck in that movie, man. You know what I'm saying? And that was one of those things like from the 80s that I remember, because I saw her and I was like, who the hell is that, man? She was just incredibly hot, beautiful, you know what I'm saying? But, that was the thing that stuck in my mind about the movie. And then, on top of that, the storyline of kind of like Prince growing up and how he became to be who he was. And then you got Michael. He came out with Moonwalker, which was basically an action movie mixed with music videos, mixed with a happy ending with him rescuing the kids from Joe Pesci who's trying to kill him. Mike's turning into a fucking Lamborghini and speeding off through the city. He's turning into an airplane and turning into a spaceship and flying over the city. I mean, just crazy imagination, creativity from both of these guys, man. And you can't really compare the two because no matter how much you analyze it, you're always going to be like, well, it's pretty much even. You know what I'm saying? They both have iconic records. You could DJ a party using only Prince and Michael Jackson records, and the fucking party would last 48 straight hours. If you really wanted to, you could do that. You know what I'm saying? And, Prince, he produced a lot of music himself. He produced a lot of music for other people. But then you compare that to the sound that Quincy Jones and Michael made with, Off the Wall and Thriller. That kind of sound, that sonic tone and that crisp, clear, precise type of musicianship that they accomplished with those two albums. Even today, people can't touch that shit. With the digital kind of music they have, with the ability they have to quantize everything and be perfectly on time and all that shit, they still can't come up with that clean of a sound even to this day. So Michael Jackson and Prince, man, they're a two-headed monster. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like comparing, Wu-Tang Clan to NWA. They're both upper echelon, but they don't make the same kind of shit. They don't make the same kind of music. NWA and Wu-Tang Clan are not the same kind of artists, but they're both great at what they do. And that's the same conclusion you come to when you compare Prince and Mike. You know what I'm saying? Where I think Michael might edge out Prince is his vocal ability. Like Mike's voice is something that's like special, man. Like when you hear that voice, that's something that came from, outer space or something, because it nothing else sounds like that. And he had the ability to make really corny records sound great. Like when he was making music about like, social issues, you know what I'm saying? He was able to connect with you because of the emotion of his voice. When he was making records like Stranger in Moscow and later in his career, when he was making records like Man in the Mirror, when he was making records like Heal the World or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Those are like records not everybody can do. But Michael could pull people together with just his voice. You know what I'm saying? But Prince, if you want to throw a party, if you want to get funky, if you want to dance, if you want to be fucking provocative, Prince is your guy. You know what I'm saying? You know, his sexual overtones in his music were way more out in the forefront, you know what I'm saying, than with Mike's records. You know what I'm saying? Mike is a pop star, Prince is a rock star, but they're both great. You know what I'm saying? They're both over the top, and there will never be another Prince, man. It's a sad fucking day when you see guys like from the 60s, 70s, and 80s starting to die off, man. You realize that time is passing and life is going on. And he was only 57 years old. That's not old, you know what I'm saying? And he was one of those guys that didn't look like he even aged. You know, every time you saw him, he looked like he was 30 fucking 7 years old or something. And Mike, and that's another comparison, a similarity. They're the same age. Mike died 7 years ago. He was 50 years old in 2009. You know what I'm saying? And now Prince passes at 57 years old in 2016. So they were the same age as well. So, and they were popular. They reached their height of their popularity at the same time. So, I love both artists are equally in my heart and in my mind as, you know, greats in the music industry, and there will never be another Prince, man. It's just a sad situation, man. I don't really know what the circumstance behind his death is. I hope it's nothing like, you know, I hope it's nothing like a overdose or anything like that. I don't even want to speculate, man. It's just sad to lose him. He's not going to be doing shows anymore. He's not going to be making guest appearances anymore. You're not going to see Prince at the sideline of basketball games or anything like that. You know, he's gone. You know what I'm saying? And it's a sad situation, man. But Mackmayne70, I had to respond, man. You know, I respect you to the utmost, bro. You are the TTC DJ. And what sealed it to me, man, was when you played Benny King, Supernatural. I commented on one of your videos when you played that song, and I was like, shit, man, that's what sealed it to me. You are the TTC DJ. Nobody else in the TTC brings the music like you do, bro. My hat's off to you. I don't like your team. You guys beat our ass fucking, well, they didn't beat our ass, but you stole the game from us last year, 38-35 in the last minutes, and Antonio Brown lit us up. But, you know, that's besides the point. And that video you made today was funny as shit, man. You started with like a Prince tribute, then you did some football talk, and then at the end you talk shit on A-Bomb's face cream, man. A-Bomb taking all kinds of L's and shit, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, man, shout out to you, Mackmayne. I had to respond. You know, and I'm gonna be out. I'm actually working right now. I'm on break and shit, but I had to throw up a little fucking video for you, man. Till next time, it's Matty on a mission. I'm out here doing my thing. And remember one thing, when I speak, you listen.